Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank vs Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Razaban IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. It's finally fight week here in London. Alexander Palace just had the press conference with me, promoter Ben Shalom. Ben, looking fresh, how are we?
Yeah, very well. Busy week. Good to be here. Good to finally be here for Adam Azim's headline. Obviously last year signed him, and it's been a quick development, and Ryland Charlton is here and he's excited and he's ready and he's sticking it on Adam, which is what we want to see. And all the fighters look ready for it.
I spoke to Ryland today and he's like, listen, yeah, we sparred, but I guess he got the better of me in sparring, but it was just after Christmas. I had a lot of wine, I had a lot of food, I wasn't in shape, and really he should have knocked me out, but he didn't. And he said, I'm a different fight in the ring. This is a totally different fight to sparring.
Yeah, it's good. Ryland's had 8 weeks. He's fought at a higher level than Adam. He's fought at a much higher level than Adam has before, and caused upsets and made people look ordinary. So it's a good fight for Adam this early on. So Ryland Charlton really believes that he's a man, as he said, and Adam Azim is a boy, and he's going to put it on him, and that's what we want, because we need Adam to get rounds. And what's good is most of the time when Adam gets in the ring, you can almost see fear in the other opponent. It's almost a foregone conclusion. To have Ryland Charlton so up for this, so confident, so in his face, as you saw there, that's good, and that's what Adam needs. We believe he's a freak. We believe not many people know actually how good he is. The ones that have seen him in the gym and seen him spar and seen him behind the scenes and seen what he did in the amateurs know how good he is, and I hope he's going to show that on Sunday afternoon.
Shane McGuigan has always said that fighters who come forward, fighters who come to fight, is exactly what Adam needs, and that's when you see the true potential of Adam. We've seen Ryland, we saw him in the Boxer series, he had 3 unbelievable fights. I know he lost to Dylan Chima at the end, but he's that fighter that comes forward and does not stop. And we also saw that with Marku.
Yeah, and look, for me, Adam is levels above, levels and levels and levels, and he's going to make people look stupid at a much higher level than Ryland Charlton, but they're just words, and not many people have seen him fight. No one's seen him go a few rounds yet. So I'm glad that we're going to start getting to fights where people can see how good Adam Azim is and get excited about him, because British boxing should be excited about Adam. He's a special guy, special kid with a bright future, and also has his head on his shoulders and feels really, really relaxed, really confident. And I think he's genuinely excited. He's got someone coming forward, going to give him a fight, and he can't wait.
Lerone Richards and Zach Chelly, listen, very respectful to each other, but they said they're a bit up there. I've spoke to Lerone today, and he's had a frustrating year. He's been out the ring practically since December last year. First question is, what's his contractual situation with yourself and promotional situation? Is he aligned with you full time now? And 2, this is a perfect opportunity for Zach Chelly as well, who wants to make a name for himself.
Exactly. I think it works for both of them. We said to Lerone, and we did sit down with him, and his levels are there. And I've said before, but his profile's there, and people don't want to watch him as much as they should. So he needs fights, he needs fighters that are going to come forward, probably needs British opponents where the casual fans can get involved and really enjoy it. And I think this is a good fight for him on a big platform, and I think for Zach Chelly it works as well, because Zach just wants to fight anyone, and as higher level you can get him as an opponent, he will take, and that's what we want. You've seen him sticking it on him. He's going to be aggressive, and hopefully it shows both of them in the best possible light. And I think with Lerone, it's a one fight deal. I wanted to see, for his ego, this probably isn't the best fight or the best route in his head that he could go down, but for us, we want him on a platform, we want people interested in watching him, and we think Zach is going to come forward. It gives a great opportunity to him as well, and we'll see what happens on Sunday afternoon, but it's going to be intriguing. I think for me, I'm looking forward to seeing Lerone back in the ring, and I'm looking forward to see what happens against Zach Chelly.
Live from 1 p.m?
Live from 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, obviously starting with the English title, the Sam Gilly, Sean Robinson, which is going to be an absolute tear-up. Then Lerone Richards and Zach Chelly. Then the Cruiserweight British title, where David Jameson is really ready for this. I think he came and thanked me because he said, I've been in the gym, Ben. This is my dream to win the British title. This is his World Cup. His whole team coming down from Scotland believe they're going to win late notice against Mikel Lewell for the British title. And for a lot of fighters, that's a dream come true. And then Adam Azim against Ryland Charlton. It's going to be a fun Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely. We look forward to it on Sunday afternoon. Ben, just moving away from the show, big announcement made from yourself and the team. Finally signed, sealed and delivered Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. I know we spoke about it the last couple of weeks and you were confident it was going to get done, but I bet you're happy that you finally made that announcement.
I am. I announced it about 3 or 4 times, got myself in trouble, probably extended it. But yeah, delighted. This was a fight that when Liam Smith signed for us, we wanted the Eubank fight, and I'm so glad I delivered it to him, because this is the fight that he wants. This is the fight that gets him going. This is the fight that he feels he's ready made for, and he's coming into. For me, he's in the best form of his life. We've seen Kurbanov, we've seen Fowler, we've seen Vargas. He's fighting regularly, and he feels that this is a big moment for him. And a lot of boxing fans believe this is the fight that should have happened in the first place. And fair play to Eubank Jr., because this is a world level opponent. He's had 2 losses on his record against world level opponents, and he'll want to show that he's world level and he's elite. I truly believe this is a 50-50 fight, and I think for any boxing fan that really knows boxing and knows how good Liam Smith is, it's a proper fight in Manchester, and it's going to be a special night on January 21.
Every time I've spoken to Liam Smith, he's always talked about his dream about fighting in Anfield and fighting in the football stadium. Had this been the summer, and I know you can't, you've got the fight now and it's happening in January, but had you had the fight in the summer, is this a fight that could potentially have gone to Anfield?
Look, there's a rematch clause, and that's what's on the line here for Liam Smith. If he can beat Eubank Jr., I think the rematch will be at Anfield, because he has to give a rematch. That's in the contract. That was part of everything. It's a risky fight. It's a proper fight, and that's his dream. And yeah, I'd love to see that. But first and foremost, he's got a big task on January 21st.
Was it also important to see Chris Eubank Jr. move away from everything that's happened over the last couple of weeks as well? Because there are still talks that if Conor Benn serves, whatever suspension, whatever happens, they could potentially take that fight into another country, another territory. But are you kind of almost pleased for Eubank that he can move away, because he's 33, he's not getting any younger?
I'm glad that I'm going to see Chris Eubank Jr. in a proper fight, as most boxing fans are. Like, this guy's coming into his prime, I believe. He's exciting to watch. He's one of the biggest names in British boxing. We've seen his stock rise after what happened in October. So this is a big fight for him, and this is the fight I wanted to see Chris Eubank Jr. in. Forget Liam Smith. I think this is a fight for Chris Eubank Jr. I think boxing fans are happy. This is a proper fight. This is a real fight, and it's a domestic fight, and it's what we want to see. And yeah, fair play for Eubank Jr. taking it, because for me it's a much bigger test than Conor Benn. It's a much bigger test than other names that have been made, and we got there in the end. And he's going into the northwest, into a huge atmosphere that will be, and he'll want to show his level as well.
Let's move on over to Natasha Jonas. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, she had a great victory. Maria De Carey, if that's her name, can't remember the pronunciation of the name. I spoke to her and she said, listen, I want to just rest, recover, go on holiday with my little daughter and not think about fighting at this stage. But your job is to plot that next move. Eddie Hearn has come out, made an offer, I think 48, 72 hours after the fight, made an offer. He heard nothing back. Joe's been very vocal that they don't want to fight Terry Harper again, through previous history and what's happened. Eddie's come out this week and said, we've made a second offer to Sky and Ben Shalom. Where are we with this, and what is the situation, and what are your thoughts?
Look, Tasha's in no rush. We received an offer, as you said, 48 hours after. Tasha's just fought for 3 world titles in 1 year. She's the boss. Like I've said before, she's a lot more intelligent than me. She went through a lot to move away from Matchroom and move away from that whole setup and come to a new thing that was unproven and under a lot of pressure. So she trusts her own decision making, and I think we're there to support Tasha Jonas. It's a different sort of relationship. What she wants in her position and at her stage of her career is what we'll do. If she wants the Harper fight, if she wants the Shields fight, if she wants the McCaskill fight, if she wants a defence, she's earned the right. She's fought for 3 world titles in a row, and she'll decide on what she wants to do. I think we have received the offers. We have acknowledged the first offer. We received another offer yesterday, and as I say, I'll sit down with Joe. I'll sit down with Tasha next week, and then we'll see. But we want to work with all promoters. It's nothing for me. It's nothing to do with us and Matchroom and this and that. Absolutely not. this is what Tasha wants, this is whatever's going on there, and we'll do what is best for her career.
Eddie said these are career high offers. Natasha, you've said yourself, she only has a couple of fights left in her, so the rumour is about £500,000 has been offered. Could you confirm or deny, and let us know, was there a significant increase from the first offer?
Wasn't a significant increase at all from the first offer. It's less than 500, a fair bit amount less, but you know, she's earned pretty well this year. She's become she's won 3 world titles. So she's earned good money. It's up to her what she does. For me, putting pressure on her, Tasha, is absolutely no chance. And it's the same people putting pressure on her now that put pressure on her not to leave Matchroom. She left. Again, nothing between me and Matchroom, but she'll make her own decisions, and we stand behind her on that, and stand behind everything that she wants to do, because what she's achieved this year should be commended, should be respected, and she's in no rush. I don't think we'll see her in the ring till March next year.
Eddie's also more than happy for the fight to be on Sky. Surely, from your perspective, you want to put big shows on. 2 British females. We saw 2 great events. Your last 2 events were headlined by females, one being an all-female card. Potentially undisputed. Is that something that entices you?
Look, if it was any other situation, any other fighter, this and that, but Tasha Jonas is the boss now. I'm not going to pressure her into any fight. If she wants a bigger name, if she wants the Shields fight, she will get the Shields fight. If she wants whatever fight she wants us to go for, we'll do it. It's a different relationship. She's in the final stages of career. She dictates what happens. She knows what happened previously when I wasn't involved, and I respect that. So regardless of what I want, regardless of what people want, she is in control of her own career, and that's it.
Move over to Lawrence Okolie. This has been going on for a little while now. Eddie Hearn, I heard on an interview, I can't recall which interview it was, but he said if Sky believe that he's out of contract, then go ahead and sign him.
Look, it's not just us that his lawyer's saying he's out of contract to. He's warranted it to everyone. So whether what happened, whether there is a fight owed, there isn't a fight owed, whatever happened, that's what's being communicated. So maybe it's one I'll speak to Frank Smith about at some point and say, look, is he out of contract? Isn't he out of contract? We're being told he is out of contract. We've been told that by the lawyers. So what are we supposed to believe? Whatever's going on back and forth online, it's nothing to do with us. That's their issue. But from what we're being told, he's out of contract. So
I do respect and I do understand that you don't want to say too much because he's not your fighter. But being in the game of boxing, we're going to throw these questions at you. And he has put some stuff out recently, and he said, I am going to take everybody down the drain, basically. And every penny I've earned. Eddie's come back and said, listen, I don't know who's in his ear, but they're giving him the wrong advice, and we're just not going to let him go away. If he wants us to go to court, we'll go to court, because we have invested and put in a lot of money with Lawrence Okolie.
Yeah, and that's their thing. But all I would say is, fighters have a short career, and there has to be something said. And I've got nothing against, Matchroom or any fighter, any promotion having a problem with a fighter, but I think there is something. If I said to Adam Azim, who signed for 4 years to me, that next week from now on he's not going to be fighting on Sky, he's going to be fighting somewhere else, and that can cause some problems with certain fighters, and so that has to be respected as well. Again, Lauren's situation aside, I'm just, I think I don't want to see that happen. I've never seen Matchroom act like that before, and I respect them massively. I hope it doesn't go down that route. I hope they can shake hands, and I hope they move on, because Lawrence is one of our only few world champions from this country. I think, for me, I'd like to see him back in the ring, and I hope that they can sort it out, because I don't think it's necessary.
So we get your reaction to, obviously, Tyson Fury, Derek Chisora pay-per-view price. $26.95 is higher from the Fury white one. Just want to get your thoughts, because obviously there hasn't been.
Was it higher?
So I think it's $24.95 was White Fury. I could be wrong, but that's what I can remember. But for a fight that not a lot of people asked for in terms of Chisora Fury, a fight where Fury beat Chisora convincing the first 2 times, is that price warranted?
Oh, you know what? It's difficult for me to say that. The Tyson Fury show is a big show, isn't it? We saw that against Why. He's a massive name, probably the biggest name in British boxing, and he can do what he wants, really. So, is it the fight that we wanted to see? Is it the fight that I wanted to see as a boxing fan? Probably not. But ultimately, I imagine Tyson calls the shots. He's a big enough star to now. What they do is what they do, and really nothing to do with me. But as a boxing fan, it's not the fight that everyone wanted, but it is what it is.
Eubank Jr. And Smith. I didn't forget about it. I was going to bring up on this particular topic, but pay-per-view. Just give me your thoughts on why that fight is pay-per-view.
Has to be. I mean, the numbers involved. We've tried so much to give as much value as possible. In our first year, we've invested a lot. Shields Marshall, Taylor Cattrall, Eubank Williams, more shows than any other British promoter in the UK on television, and we're trying. But certain fights, Eubank's one of the biggest stars in British boxing. Liam Smith is probably the biggest fight he could take on in this country. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a fight that most fans preferred to have seen than the Eubank-Ben fight. It's a fight that any boxing fan or anyone that knows the sport knows what a fight this is, and knows this is a true 50-50, and it's a massive fight, and it will sell out the Manchester arena. The fighters are demanding big purses, and sometimes that's all we can do. Our budget is only what it is, but this is a monster, in my opinion. A pay-per-view should be a fight where you don't know who's going to win, and I really believe that any boxing fan does not know who's going to win that fight.
Standard 1995?
Yeah.
Strong undercard?
Huge undercard as well. It's going to be a massive night to start the year, and it's amazing to get to the end of the year, because last year we were sort of making fights with 4 weeks notice, 5 weeks notice. We had no fighters and this and that, so to be able to look at the year ahead and start with an absolute, I promise it will be a monster night on January 21st in Manchester with a huge top of the bill. I can't wait.
Ben, earlier this year you started off with, well, not in order, but you went Taylor Cattrall, Carnbrook, Eubank Williams, a strong start to 2022. Are we going to expect it even fiery in 2023?
Yes, 100%. Again, the first year we feel like in our first calendar year, for us, it's been an incredible year. We've put on some huge shows. We think we've delivered higher than many people's expectations, but I promise you now, we know where we're at. We've got the fighters, we feel we've got the momentum, and we want to deliver for British. We want to deliver for the fans. We see there's so much shit that goes on, and you're never going to please fans, and you're never going to make everyone happy, but it's going to be a monster year next year for boxing in general. I think BT, DAZN, ourselves, everyone's trying to do the best that they can, but yeah, next year will be very big and start very fast. Any
further signings before the end of the year?
Yes. Hopefully announced before Bournemouth, a couple of big ones.
Finally, a lot of rumours circling on social media regarding Adam Smith and his kind of future and position with Sky. People say he's already resigned. I've seen some rumours that say that he's slightly unwell at the moment. Just want to see, I know you've got a close relationship with him. If you can make any comments.
Look, Adam will be back early next year. He needs a bit of time off. He's ill, and he's not missed a Sky boxing show as long as I can remember. I mean, how long has it been? How long has he been at Sky?
30 plus.
He's done a lot for us. He knows the sport inside out. I think everyone respects him in boxing. I think I miss him in the sense he's just a presence, isn't he? And he'll be back next year, but he needs some time off. He's ill, and obviously there's a lot of speculation, and I think people need to respect a man that has given so much to British boxing, and he needs a bit of time off, and he'll be back early next year.
Well, we wish Adam all the best with his illnesses, and hopefully he does recover. Ben, appreciate your time. Roll on weigh-in tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday. Super Sunday.
Super Sunday. Can't wait. Cheers, mate.
Ben Shalom, IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank vs Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something. Completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.